It's like a six volt batteries. They're about 5 amps each. I did like like I think like 7 or 8 of them, so 50 amps or something. You know, of alum batteries, and they would hold 9.5, 10 volts, and yeah, they're very reliable, and you don't have to worry about them going bad. I just put them away. I made them like a long time ago, and they totally dried up. And I just wanted to see if they still worked, and I put water in them again, and bam, came right back.
Wow, that's crazy.
No issues. It worked like brand new again, like not like a lead acid where it would like you don't see the voltage or you don't see the current coming out of it. But you know, nothing like that. You see the current coming out just like it's brand new. The voltage is there like it's brand new. Like you don't see any decreases in anything.
Well, I'd like to see a breakdown on your channel at some point. You know how you build them.
Oh, I made a video on it a long time ago.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you find it, post it in the private chat, and we'll go over it. If we, have
the
time.
alum spice. That's all it was. I heated it up with hot water.
I'm gonna take.
Find the mic. Link mic.
Yeah, it's this is a free for all today. Anybody who wants to present something, I'm interested in seeing everything. Like I said, I'm just interested in everything. So
I also did the Hutchison.
Next to Ernie there, you can see a bunch of the hydrogen bubbling up off of one of the coils right in the center, and then every so often you'll also see giant bubbles going up, shooting up as well.
I did see one. Yep, I saw one there. It's just there. Yep. Yeah, so explain the difference between the tiny micro bubbles and the giant bubbles.
Since they're both coming off of the cathode, I believe it's potentially 2 different isotopes of hydrogen, and then there's also always off of the anode side bigger bubbles too that are the oxygen.
So you have both the anode and the cathode in the water.
Yes, sir.
And then, are you using just traditional multimeter probes, or what are you using?
No, I just got it connected to the ends of a little USB wire, 5-volt cell phone charger.
Oh, yeah, I see the coil there. Yeah, so sorry, it's a little cloudy. It's hard to make out exactly what's going on inside. That's why I just wanted to clarify it a little bit, because I'm very fascinated with this.
The pure white cloud on like the left side there, that's from just a zinc sheet that I have as the anode, and that it's making the white monoatomic zinc that is that cloudy section clouding up the left half of the jar of reaction.
Oh, so the cathode is just the USB wire, and then the anode is just the plate over there to the side.
The anode is the positive, the cathode is the negative. The coils are connected to the negative, doing the bubbling up of the hydrogens, and then the anode you get from the zinc sheet, you get the monoatomic as well as the oxygen bubbles coming off of, but it's kind of above the camera level there. You can't really see the zinc anode as it gets corroded away quite quickly.
So what I mean is the zinc anode is not connected by anything but the water, right? The water acts as the
it's connected. Well, it's connected to the positive wire of the.
Oh, so it is directly connected. Okay, but so that was my disconnect. I wanted to know exactly how it was configured.
They're only connected, but they're connected reaction-wise through the water, right? Through the electrolyte of the anode cathode back to the metals.
Okay, so I'm starting to build a little bit of a picture of what you got going on here.
Yeah, we'll get back to, I guess, finally finishing off Bendini's transmutation, and then I'll give a little bit more of a, I guess, move the camera around to show what's going on in there.
Sure. I'm going to actually play the video and take a quick 5-minute break if anybody wants to just take over for the, comments and all that.
Bit before Star Wars, because we were looking for something that was unique in the marketplace, and just by accident, out of growing all these different seed materials, this is where Tom Bearden talks about where was the mine. Well, the mine was right here.
Yeah.
This was the mine.
Huh.
Everybody says,
Digested
well,
rock.
where's the mine? Where'd you get this stuff? Well, I wasn't going to tell them that I grew it, you know. So, you know, that I had to get some special kind of rock or something, because I'm not trying to make anything mystical here. I'm showing you straight up front. This is how it was done.
Well, in actuality, animals transmute materials all the time. Like Louis Quevron was nominated for a Nobel Prize for depriving chickens of calcium, and they produced eggs anyway.
Of course. You see, when you heat something and you grow a seed material like this, what happens when you heat it and you fire it at that temperature is it transmutes it.
Yeah.
Anything can come out of here, like it says here.
So you could never really tell what.
No, we had to have it assayed, and if you look very closely, I pointed here with a black arrow that this material here produced gold underneath.
Yeah, that is not pink gold. That is
regular That's yellow regular yellow gold. 1 electron off.
What do you mean 1 electron off?
Well, when they do the analysis, he said that it was gold, but they haven't seen a gold like that.
Huh.
Okay, when they brought back the assay, then when they actually broke this down and flame tested it, and they looked at it under a microscope and everything, they said they never seen a black ruby with silver particles in it. And you can see, if you look very closely, this has very little fine silver specks in it.
Yeah, you really need a microscope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And then it's red in color. It just looks black. Yes. And a good way to see that is right here. See the gold color here? And then if you look at the side, you can see where it's transmuting the gold in veins here, as you said, Pat. It's little veins. It's little veins, and then this is ruby. This is actual red ruby. That just happens to be this material. See, and then what you do is you take this, after you take this off and you scrape it completely off, then you can get at this gold, you know, and then when you go to scrape it with something, you can tell that it's gold because it's so soft that it just scratches very easy. When you know that this material is not scratching.
So is any of that a slab of pure gold, or is just little bits of?
No, it's just a layer of it.
A layer of gold, okay.
Yeah, it's just a layer of it that's combining with the material to form an electrical conductive. So that the question was, where's the mine? Because it was rich in the gold, or it was rich in the silver, or it was rich in zinc, or it was rich in gold. Well, the mine was right here. There's nothing to it.
Yeah.
It works exactly like your stomach. It's not a big mystery. Why it was a secret for so many years is beyond me. And that basically all came from the paperwork that John Sajeka had hidden away for many years. And he taught us exactly how to do this.
How did he find out about it?
Well, I can't say, because he would never answer that question.
Yeah.
Where he got it, or how he found it, or who it came from, or.
Why do you think he had it as a secret for so many years?
Well, because it's possible that if you seed the material just right, that you could produce gold, or you could produce, you could produce silver, you could produce zinc, you could produce, and it would be a fraction of the cost. I mean, what does some distilled water cost and some hydrochloric acid and a steel rod?
Yeah.
You know, that's not how industry does this. But this goes to show you that they might have even known this during the 1900s or the 20s, 30s, but he wasn't going to tell.
Well, Tom said that 40% of the gold that the Russians sell is made in the lab.
Well, yeah. Well, this would be making it in the lab.
Yeah.
The hard way. Actually, the easy way.
Yeah.
But you would say, you might be thinking to yourself, this is very hard to do because you got to wait the time, but no wine before it's time.
Yeah. Do you know anything about monatomic gold or white gold? Or
No.
No.
Never messed with it.
Yeah.
Heard about it, but never messed with it. You mean powdered gold?
Yeah.
White powdered gold.
Yeah.
Well, I do know that when you're making colloidal silver, that even though you have silver electrodes in there, the colloidal silver is gold in color. And when you're making colloidal gold, it's white.
Right.
So why would you want to make colloidal gold unless you were trying to do something with DNA?
Sorry about that. Did you have something to say, Bernie?
What time does APAC open mic start, Jeremiah? And yeah, I'll send you a link right now if you want to join quick. And I was thinking that was today, and if try to do a presentation there maybe a little bit once I get everything out here. Anyways,
if APEC is going on today, we might do a little coverage of it. Yes, I didn't get an invite, obviously, because I'm not a part of their show, but yeah, we can cover a little bit if you guys want to.
You can send all y'all the link if you want. It's the open mic, the Zoom one.
Yeah, it's not by invite.
You said for APEC?
Yeah, APEC's not by invite. There's a link on their website.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I see.
It's open Zoom today.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll jump on there if you guys wanna do that.
Oh yeah. Well, let's continue with Bendini explaining this transmutation.
Yeah, and whenever you're ready for your presentation, let me know and I'll put you up.
Okay, sounds good.
What do you mean?
Maybe you want to extend your DNA or something.
Yeah.
It's just something that I heard a while back. And
gold and silver are right next to each other.
Yes, they are.
On the periodic table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's not far to transmute one from the other. John Sajeka was a big fan of Walter Russell. So if you look at Walter Russell's chart, it sort of looks like this. And then all the elements are in here.
Right. And this is very different from the periodic table that we're taught.
Right. So, you see, in this cycle here, right, you might have Cu here, which is going to be copper.
Right.
Right? And you might have gold Ag here.
Right.
So what's the difference between the two? Is a harmonic shift.
Right.
You see? It's a frequency shift. Because silver may be right here. Right here. Zinc may be right here.
Right.
And lead may be right here. But if you look at Walter Russell's chart and you look at what it would take to move copper to gold, is a frequency shift back down to this level.
Yeah.
So if you can do something to this copper right here, this substrate, if you can do something to it by seeding a material on top of it,
Right.
right? And then you fire that in an oven what happens is it's going to transmute at that level. Whatever is in here, it's going to transmute it to this material.
Right.
And so when you take this layer out and send that for assay, that's what was in the material.
Okay.
So see, maybe Walter Russell isn't so far off putting the chart together the way he did.
Yeah.
After all, he did say that there's the positive spin and the negative spin.
Of what?
He called one a male and one a female, if you read his book.
Oh, right.
You know, he called one plus and one minus.
You mean the elements? He called those elements. Plus.
Yeah, well, he talked about life, about these two frequency shifts. You know, I think he had a drawing something like this.
Yeah.
So I had to check it out. And I had to try it for myself, and I was thoroughly convinced after being.
So Bob Grenier talks about the yin and yang of ball lightning or plasmoids, and how specifically the yin, I think, represents the male and the yang the female, or vice versa. I can't remember exactly which, but one spiral. Yeah, one spiral represents the male, one represents the female, and everybody has both in them, because if we didn't, we wouldn't be conscious. So it's just something interesting that we're making all these connections, specifically with the frequency of elements and how you can change them, and just based on shifting the frequency, that all plays into the plasma unification model, and it's all coming together, guys. It's all coming together.
Oh yeah, it is. And I'm going through, just quickly flipping through, trying to find Walter Russell's ones that specifically have the labeling of the male and female, the red and the blue, the ultraviolet and the infrared, but they're on opposite sides in the balance of his scales, and that each of these different charts and diagrams that I'm going through are specific additional periodic tables of Walter Russell. There's not just this one vortex spiral geometry, one that he's so famous for right here. There's actually over 20 different octave diagrams of the periodic tables, including several of these ones that have been dubbed by some like the doorway or the arch tables as well, because they resemble the double or octave arch entrances to so many cathedrals, castles, and ancient sites. But here he actually plots it out with the elements.
That looks like a music scale.
Yeah, well, it's octaves. They're octave scales. Yeah, so it's applying the octave harmonic scale to the different periodic tables and elements.
You can't have this tech without sound. Sound is part.
Yeah, we're seeing how music and sound is intricate. You know,
sound pushes energy. So if you use sound to push the energy that's sitting there, you're gonna get.
That's why I kind of visualize, everything at the quantum level being kind of like an orchestra. You have different frequencies going on, creating a symphony.
That's why you need the piezo buzzer. You push it, and it's the sound that pushes the energy.
It's a vorchestra, like a vortex orchestra.
Oh.
Just thought I'd throw it out there.
Cymatics.
Yeah, cymatics.
But cymatics is not that simple to understand. I mean, who can understand?
And harmonics.
Why the shapes are forming like that? I mean,
they're interconnected waveforms.
Well, we know that the waveforms have those geometries and all that, and that's but they seem to translate into two-dimensional as well, because they're three-dimensional waveforms we're talking about here. And
That doorway just looks like a music scale.
you look at the cymatic plate.
It is, right? It's the octave scale.
But yeah, but it's more like an organ when you play the
right?
organ.
Exactly. And some of the stained glass windows actually resemble the hydrogen cymatic geometry. It's wild, right? So it's like the organs and all of this ancient, the alchemy of the cathedrals. Got to actually read that ancient book, and it will explain it, right? Like, there's so much to it. It's wild.
The older the book, the more the code is.
There's your magnetic flow there, no? Is that what that is?
Yeah, I agree, Gerald. Read the older ones.
Yeah, the codes are written in symbology and
there we go.
Amount of words that are used.
This Walter Russell images?
Yes, sir. These are all Walter Russell periodic octave geometric diagrams of periodic and field physics, I guess.
Well. He drew all these things?
Oh, yes, sir. Every single one. There's actually like several hundred different diagrams that he's done. These are just the periodic and octave scale ones we're going through right now. It's like those that try to debunk Walter Russell without actually even looking at a fraction of his work.
That one there.
I need a copy of all these, Bernie. If you get me a copy of all these, I have an understanding of these that I can share with you, but I need to
look on Wikipedia or something.
Absolutely. I will create a Google Drive file for all of it and send y'all links to it.
And then I'll do a breakdown and send it back to you.
Appreciate it.
There's something that I've seen in all these charts that all coincide with something I was researching. So let me put it together for you, and then I'll do what I can to send it to you right away. But I got a few things on the go, but I wrote it down on my book here, so it's.
I feel you, brother. Appreciate it, and when you get her done, we'll look forward to it. Right?
Darn straight.
But it's
Bernie,
like
I got a question for you. Copper and zinc. Did you put them together in one of your experiments?
Yes, sir. That's what you're actually looking at right there. The coils are copper, and then the metal plate there is zinc. So copper cathode, zinc anode in that reaction.
Very cool.
I like how Walter Russell put all the elements on the periodic table on the sine wave. He said all of them are metals except for, was it carbon?
The salts?
No, even the salts are metals. Chloride is a metal. Sodium is a metal. They're all metals except for carbon.
Hydrogen.
Tonemates.
Hydrogen is a metal too. Oxygen.
No, hydrogen was the one that wasn't, is what he said.
It was carbon. It was carbon.
I'll be back.
Carbon?
I'll be back. I got to step out for a
I
bit.
thought it was carbon.
Sounds good.
So what is it, Bernie? Is it carbon or hydrogen? It's not.
Let's see right here. Yeah, I think it's hydrogen because it goes into these smaller sub-octaves with alphanon, betanon, and whatnot, I believe, right? There's helium, so hydrogen and everything. Whoa.
No, Bendini was explaining that Walter Russell said that all of the...
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
All of them are metals except for one on the table that he created.
Was it this one?
Carbon has a zero field.
Sorry.
No, that was my intro video. It's okay.
You got the rest of the Bendini one?
Yeah, I can pull it up.
Hold on. Was carbon the one with the zero field? Is that where
I think it is carbon. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a zero field to it. The rest of them had some sort of field.
Get out of the hi-fi industry with this stuff, and we did do it. We were able to successfully prove that it was possible to build these room temperature semiconductors.
Okay.
Oh, real quick before I forget, what time is APEC? Because I want to make sure I go over a couple
8 minutes. 8 minutes, I guess. We got 8 minutes left. And sorry,
No,
just to get back to answer your question there, Nathan. So yeah, carbon right here, you can see it's at the 0 point, the equal on the, I guess which side?
I'm telling you, I have an uncanny memory
on one
for
side of it,
specifics like
and then
this.
the next side, on the opposite side, you have silicon as the next 0.
Oh, is it
and
silicon?
cobalt as the next one, and the next
cobalt is a metal.
And rhodium on the next. But there's also the hydrogen right there as the first one below carbon. But each of those being at the zeros or the equal points on the wave scale and the octave scale.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think we'll just continue with this on, and I'll finish up. We'll do some APEC, and then after APEC, I'll finish up with whatever I had planned. It wasn't a lot.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, of course. So we'll just continue on with this. If you guys have anything to add, or you want to continue talking about anything before we go on to APEC, let me know, and we'll just interject, I guess.
And use little bitty wires to transfer power. Okay, without any signal loss whatsoever, and no heating in the wire. And we were using 200-watt amplifiers, 300-watt amplifiers. And we also found out that it was possible to make a big substrate, say bigger than this disc here, about this size, that we could put the material in this stuff, which is like a plastic. And then we could take that stuff and put it between 2 copper plates like this, and we had a perfect capacitor, 3.9 microfarads.
We're going back to this one here. What is this now?
That's this material.
That's okay.
See, that's this material. This has been sanded off so you can see.
Okay. So you just made it bigger physically.
We made it bigger so you could see it.
Right.
So we could see it.
Right.
And then we would look at that material, and this material becomes something like a dielectric. It is a dielectric then. And then if you put it between these 2 plates, you get a capacitor. So we were able to build in a capacitance with the material into the crystal by putting these components, which were never seen or heard of, in the box, because they were bandsawed open and they didn't know what they were looking at, because they didn't know any such technology.
Yeah,
has that one been bandsawed open?
No, this one was broken open to check these jacks, and notice it's tuned. It's tuned between the grounds with this little coil here. Can you see that? Right here.
Yeah.
See, and then this ground connection was to the case like that. And that's the ground of the substrate underneath here. But in this block is this chip and a capacitor made from this material. So therefore, since you don't know the technology, you can't comprehend it.
Right.
Because you can cut it day and night and try to figure out what it is. But when it's not electrical, the same way you know electrical, you're scratching your head a long time. In fact, to this day, they don't know.
Yeah.
And probably never will, and never know how to do it exactly.
Even though you're showing the right.
Even though I'm showing you.
And just back
You have to know what you're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's one part that I can't give you.
Right.
You know, but I can talk about it.
Right. Right.
So, and I can tell you that it's based because Sajeka was very persistent on what Walter Russell said on this chart of elements. Because many times he would say, John, and this is exactly how I'd say it, John, where's the copper? Well, it's right here. Okay, how many down is it? 3, 2. He said, now go down there and find gold. And so I'd go down to the chart and I'd find gold, right? And he'd say, what do you need to do to get gold? Well, you have to transmute the copper. So it isn't lead, like they tell you. It's copper. And when you do the same thing with silver. He would repeat that over and over and over and over. John, here's silver. So what do you need to do to get zinc? And you'd go down here and you'd look, and it's just a frequency shift between all these materials. And it's been in Walter Russell's books forever.
Yeah.
Forever. But see, what I want to point out here is this doesn't make anybody a magician. What this says right here is you, the person that's trying to do this, have a lack of understanding. And so therefore you can't comprehend it. You think it's BS. But this has been in front of the public forever.
Yeah,
You see, so things that we don't understand, we burn it at the stake. It's gone forever. You don't ever want to hear about it again in your life. You got this big mental block about, oh, it can't be done. Oh, that doesn't work that way. My meter doesn't measure it. Well, I'll tell you what. Your whole body's a big meter.
John, back to that Walter Russell thing with the 2 spirals, one was
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't have anything to do with the spin of the earth, does it?
No.
Okay.
It had to do with what Walter Russell was shown when he was in that coma. Because remember, he was in that coma for a long time. And when he came back, he knew exactly what vibrational rate all these elements and everything were. Because he was shown. Okay? And we may be talking about that we live just here. But all these other things are at different levels. And what I get from all this is what Walter Russell was talking about is all you have to do is change your vibrational rate and you move up to a whole new realm.
Which is what some of the religions believe.
Right, that's what some of the religions believe. But suppose that you change the vibrational rate of things that are physically on this earth.
Hey, Ben, pause it real quick, will you?
Well, then it's
Yes.
That's exactly what Gerald was saying earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Remember we were talking about inside his coil, when you get in that little special area, and we were talking about vibration and frequency. Bendini just said it right there. As soon as you're here, then you hit a different frequency rate, you're here. You get what I'm saying?
Right, you shift.
Describing what Gerald was talking about.
Yeah, that's we're seeing these connections, and it's awesome because I don't know, Gerald, were you actually researching Bendini while doing your coil, or is this Bendini stuff new to you too?
I think Gerald said he was stepping out for a little bit, but I'm
that's right.
pretty sure from in past Gerald's done a lot of work understanding Bendini stuff, if my memory serves me correct. But I'm sorry, I have to actually run out here to the store quickly before it closes myself, and we'll be back in like 30-45 if you're still going, and if not, see you at APEC, but I'll leave my experiment cam on, and then if you're still going when I get back, then I can do the demonstration of showing that crystallized electrode there, like Bendini was showing. But great work.
Yeah, I plan on streaming for at least another couple hours. So at least another couple hours. So yeah, we should be live.
Perfect. All right. Well, see you in a little bit.
Awesome.
Right on.
All right. Did you want me to play it again, Nathan?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to point that out for people who were watching earlier, that we were talking about the different in frequency, time, and if you're inside the bubble, outside the bubble, and Bendini just hit on it right there.
Yeah, and it's important, when we're doing these long streams too, to reiterate some of the things that we've been talking about, because new people come in all the time. But yeah, let's play it.
It's possible. Maybe John Sajeka was right. Copper is gold. And silver is zinc. And platinum is antimony. Who knows? It would take a lifetime for a person to do all this. I did nothing mystical except study the science and understand the science. And now I'm telling you the science. That's how you do it. And it's up to you to do it. I can't do it for you.